I want to help people make a positive change in their lives. And for me, watching the videos of other YouTubers with life-changing moments really made an impact. So today I want to talk about my life-changing moments that helped me get to this point and make the move to Portugal. I'm not going to lie, I guess I always felt attracted to traveling, and this is because I had the opportunity to get out of the country when I was very young, at 10 years old. I know that for the world that we live in, this is very late in life, but Romania just come out of the communist regime 2 years before, when I was 8 years old. So I was able to travel quite rapidly comparing to my fellow citizens. So first time I went to France, and France made, of course, a big impact on my life and made me realize that travel is the best way to develop as a person and acquire more knowledge. I never liked very much school, so acquiring knowledge in another way was for me very appealing. But growing up and over the years, I got sidetracked from my passion traveling because I was very concerned about doing well in school and later in life with my career. So I spent all of my 20s worrying about getting the right diplomas in order to become a certified accountant in my country. And later in my 30s, I spent most of those years building up my accounting company here in Romania. I thought there is nothing more important in life than having a stable career and a roof over your head. And why was I thinking that? Because I wasn't coming from a rich family, and I was very focused on the idea on acquiring financial independence and more stability in my life. So every energy I had, I was putting it into that, and I was working day in and day out, and the only thing that mattered in my life was the career. I'm not saying it's not important to have a career, and I'm not saying that it's not important to have an education. Au contraire, I think it's very important to have an education and skills, but I don't think it's really quite important in our days to have a diploma. I know that this is a very controversial issue, but I think in 10 or 15 years this will become the mainstream opinion. But as you are already used to it, I am issuing quite a few controversial opinion here on my channel. I guess this is part of who I am. So I think it's very important to have skills and to know what to do in this world and how to produce money, but it's not that important to have the diplomas in order to support that skills. You can easily learn how to make money in today's world without necessarily going through all the process with all the diplomas, faculty and all this. Anyway, once I got to my process and obtained all the diplomas and the financial stability, I started realizing that this was not making me happy at all. I was so obsessed in acquiring financial stability that I wasn't really taking the time to think of myself and my own happiness. So once I acquired the financial stability, I had more time to be more philosophical, if you want, in life, and realizing that this is not the way to live your life. I turned to my old passion, traveling, and I was in a bit of frenzy because I was realizing while I was doing my inner search that I wasted so much years of my life chasing money, but not really money. It's more about stability, and I was doing this all my life, and I was like 32, 35 years old when I realized that, and I was panicking that I was doing it all wrong. So I started traveling really aggressively, like 3 or 4 months or even every 2 months in all different places, as much as my budget afforded to do that. So I visited quite a few places in Europe in order to see if this was a passion that made me happy. I was only happy when I traveled. So with every travel I was starting to increase the length of the time. At the beginning I was away like 3 days, then 5 days, then a week. All of the people around me started noticing that. and they told me that this traveling business is just an illusion, that I'm depressed and this traveling business is jeopardizing my real business here in Romania. So I should be aware of that and not think that traveling is making me happy and it's just an escape. It's not real. My advice to you is don't listen to other people over your feelings, over your own gut. You are the only one who knows what you are feeling and what is best for you and how you want to live your life. So of course you have to listen up to a point the opinions all around you, especially your family and your partner, but in the end you should listen to your gut, your feeling over all of this. The idea is that I started to understand what really matters in life only when I reach financial stability. And you could argue that financial stability made for me possible to travel because I had money to travel, but it is more than that, because there are a lot of people with money who doesn't give 2 cents on traveling because they are not passionate about this. So it was not really about acquiring the money to travel, it's more about acquiring the state of mind that allowed me to think about my life very carefully and think, what do I want to do with my time? So if you can skip the step of acquiring what you think you need, what other people tell you that you need, and you can really start to thinking now about what makes you happy, you can do better than me and not waste all of those years because some other people tell you that you have to be in school, that you have to have a career, that you have to acquire money, more money, money over money, because this obviously was the influence of my family and the influence about the culture I was born into and the friends I had, the environment I lived in. A life-changing moment and a lot of power and determination I got from watching YouTube videos of other creators that are traveling the world. You see, I'm a very confident person, I'm a very feisty person and naturally against the order of things, but it is very hard to sustain that if you don't have around you people who think like you, who are your support system, who encourage you to do what you want with your life. Back then, I didn't have anybody like that. So when I discovered all of those people who are thinking like me, who are really living the life I was craving for, I felt like I was not crazy. I felt that my idea was validated, even if I couldn't find in my inner circle someone who thought like me. It was very reassuring to find in the world, even if I didn't know those persons, a lot of people who lived the life I wanted to live. And this comes to the responsibility that creators have and the impact that creators have on the life of other people. And this is one of the main reasons why I started this YouTube channel, because this is who I am. I want to make an impact in other person's life who are thinking now of moving from their country or changing their lifestyles and they are too afraid of doing it, because I am that person who was very afraid of doing it, and maybe still I am very afraid of doing it because I'm doing this in small steps, but still I got somewhere, and I want to also tell you that you can get somewhere if you are confident in your dream. So read books, watch YouTubes, get a support system in place and don't listen to other people over your own gut. Another life-changing moment was when I decided to move away from toxic people. And when I say toxic people, I say toxic to you, because this is an issue. You look around you and you kind of sense that a certain person, it's not good for you. It doesn't understand you, doesn't support you, but for most of the times that person is part of the family or a very close friend, or maybe a person who really helped a lot in your life. And you are thinking, this person couldn't be toxic because it helped me so much, give me so much, raise me maybe. This person is not toxic. There's something wrong with me. The problem is me, not that person. And it's not like that. A person can be a very good person who has your best interest in mind, but can be toxic because it doesn't understand and it doesn't approve the lifestyle that you want to live, the life that you want to acquire, the changes that you want to do with your life. So in that moment, even with your best interest in mind, it becomes toxic because it kind of throws you back, keeps you from your dreams. So this is why a person can be both good in your life but in the same time toxic, and this is a price you have to pay if you want to follow your dreams. You have to be able to move away from that opinion and maybe spend less time with them and maybe explain the situation and maybe put some barriers between their opinions and your mind, because you need people to encourage you, not to draw you back. And if you have an honest conversation about this and maybe that person is mature enough to understand that, maybe you can keep the relationship going, but in most cases it is very hard. So you should be aware of that moving forward in your life and making changes will result in losing some friends and maybe family members. Of course, the life-changing moment was when I discovered Portugal. But what I mean by that? I mean that I was traveling quite a lot and I was traveling with a goal in mind. The most appealing country and the country that I liked the most, Ireland, is me, is my personality. It really spoke to me in a very special way. But the truth of the matter was that even if I was financially stable in Romania, I couldn't sustain a lifestyle that I was accustomed to in Ireland. And I talked about this with my partner, and we said that we have to find something that we really can afford. Traveling so much allowed me to discover Portugal quite easy and rapidly in my search, so I didn't have to spend a lot of years searching. I spent like 2 years searching. The first country I went to was Spain, and I was really in love with Spain because it has many features of Portugal, but it wasn't quite right for me. I didn't quite feel what I felt when I came for the first time in Portugal. I spoke about my reasons of moving in Portugal in a different video. I will link it below. And I know that 2 or 3 years may seem a lot of time, and all I wanted to do was just to make a backpack and go to traveling the world. But the fact is that we decided together with my partner to act wisely and responsibly and to try to keep our businesses here while we were trying to fulfill the dream. So we took this road. It's not something that I really recommend. This is something that continuously draws me back to my country, and it doesn't allow me to live a full committed life in Portugal, but I hope in a few years I will be able to do that transition. This is what we decided that it was best for us, but it's not necessarily what you should do. If you have the ability to live your full life now, I suggest you do that. If I had to summarize, I say that the most important thing that led me to this moment was my inner belief that life can be about so much more than just going to work and coming home. It had to be much more in life than that, and I was feeling that and I was believing that. And also I don't have a natural desire to belong to any group or society, so this helped me a lot because this allowed my inner voice to be stronger and to contest the status quo and the lifestyle I was born into, which was very much influenced by the community that was just came out of a communist era. So because I wasn't seeking the approval of everybody around me, my inner voice grew stronger over the years, and I was able to break through from all the rules and regulations and hopefully live the life I wanted to. Of course, I lost a lot of years in the process, but you know what they say, better late than never, right? So please leave it in the comments. What were your life-changing moments that made you move to Portugal? Or better than that, what struggles do you have? What stands between you and that perfect life, or what stands between you and the change that you want to make in your life? Is it a problem of money? Is it a problem of family? Is it just your fear of unknown? Leave it in the comments and maybe I can address it in future videos, because I am really all about making you take the next step in your life and show you that other people can do it, and this means that you can do it too. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, because this supports me so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!